One of the biggest claims that you will come across when talking about Israel and defending Israel in the Hasbara battle, the battle for public relations, is the question of disproportionate use of force. I actually was in the States speaking, and there someone put up their hand and said, Israel's using disproportionate force. How can you justify it? For every Israeli that's been killed, 2 Palestinians. I asked this man to stop for a second. And I ask you to do the same and take the argument. Can you imagine if Israel's force was actually proportionate? So for every bus that had been blown up in Jerusalem in the Second Intifada, we'd gone to Ramallah, Jenin, or elsewhere and blown up a Palestinian bus carrying civilians. For every pizza parlour, and I'm standing only a few meters away from the place of a large explosion in Jerusalem, for every pizza parlour that was blown up, we blew up one of their restaurants. For every missile which was launched at Israeli civilians in the last 8 years from living in Sderot, we had launched a missile aimed at their civilians. That would have been a proportionate response. The answer to the claims that Israel's response is disproportionate is, you're right. Israel's response is disproportionate because it's restrained. Proportionality would have seen eye for an eye, and that would have left everyone blind. The second thing that we see being criticised is that Israel is killing civilians. And I think there's a very important moral equivalency which is being drawn. That Israel are terrorists, Hamas are the same. Let's stop for a second. When Israel kills civilians, it is always considered a tragedy. When Palestinians kill civilians, they celebrate in the streets of Gaza. Israel's aim is to minimize the killing of Palestinian civilians. We dropped leaflets from aeroplanes. We made over 900 phone calls to people saying, get out of the way. When Hamas finds that a bombing campaign is on its way, they encourage people to go on the roofs. They encourage kids to go out on the street. They fire missiles with children around them. That's the use of a human shield. A child, a boy, a small girl. We appreciate life, and they call for the end of life as a part of shaheed and martyrdom.